Welcome to Some Awesome Games, good looking people. I'm Rob. We are playing Star Wars Force Arena. Now I had a whole bunch of videos planned, but they updated the game. So what we're doing is we're gonna try and beat this. Now if you play Imperials, this is probably a pretty common sight. Just waves and waves of low energy costing rebels. It's annoying, right? It's frustrating. Imperials seem underpowered. This guy gets no good game. Damn you, man. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and learn how to kind of counter effectively. It's basically what we're going to do here. So we're going to try and get good with the Empire. So I've just unlocked Tarkin. Like, Tarkin, just got him through my 7-day rewards. So we're going to give him a whirl. My deck is lowish energy and some support cards. So we have the Swordsman, because I think the Swordsmen are the most essential units in the Imperial Army. We do have the tank. The tank is tradable, I would say. You could chuck in the ATST. Sand Trooper, very important. So what we want to do here is counter. So you can see he dropped a tank. We're going to drop our Swordsman. Our Swordsman costs less energy than the tank. Our probe droid is great at taking out groups of enemy. Our swordsmen are great at taking out towers. Now, if we got to this tower in time and it was focusing me, our swordsman would have done some good damage there. We also have the stun grenade and the purple gas. I can't remember what the purple gas is called. But basically, it's a game of energy trading. So Luke here, he's spending quite a bit of energy. He's dropping these fools in, and he's trying to rush our tower. Luke, you'll come across a lot. A lot of people play Luke, because Luke is pretty much the first hero you get on the Rebel side. So he'll come up a lot, and he's very easy to play. Very fast, very strong, very good at rushing towers, as you can see. But our whole goal is just to kind of kill off the Rebel leader as much as we can. Every time they die, it adds about a second onto their respawn time, which is great, right? That's what you want. Every time you die, you get an extra second. And we want to counter all their things using as little energy as possible. So we're in a very good position here. We've got a lot of energy. Our tower's not looking great, but their tower's also not looking great. They dropped a bunch of, well, they dropped a Wookiee. A Wookiee's very strong. But I love the probe droid because it just soaks up damage. It's a good distraction unit. Chuck down a probe droid. I'm going to use my special here. Chuck down a probe droid as a distraction. What I like to do is combo the probe with the swordsman for actually taking down a tower. Is very effective. I know you people think like use a tank and they'll do it using ATST, but honestly, a probe and the little swordsman are awesome at it. So we didn't have swordsman available, so we had to drop our tank to fight this tank. But we're 1 for 1. We're in a good position. We're 1 for 1. We've got a good amount of energy at the moment. But my advice with the probe droid thing, we'll get back onto that. So is if you chuck down a probe droid first, we'll see if we can do it here. So if you chuck down the probe droid first, or ahead of the swordsman, the probe droid will actually like soak up the damage. Just have units ahead of your swordsman, and they'll soak up the damage. And look at them go. Look at them go. You know how terrifying that is from a rebel perspective? Watching two little units that are worth 3 energy absolutely wreck your tower in seconds. It's a terrifying thing. Very scary. So we have 13 seconds left. We have 2 towers surviving. They have 2 towers down. That's it. We've won. We've basically won. We can stun him. We can slow him down. We can do whatever we want now. We just gotta hold it. And victory. How's Luke doing? He ain't happy. Why would he be happy? He's not having a good time at all. Poor Luke. Good game from me. So let's look at another round here. We got Boba Fett. We're going back to Boba Fett. While I liked Tarkin, I think Boba Fett is a superior hero in my opinion. He does more damage to the leaders, and it does become a game of kill the leader. So we've switched a few things here. We switched the stun grenade for the rocket trooper, and we switched out the tank for the ATST. Now, the stun grenade, I was also rocking the net for a while, but the net is much more of a skill move because it does have a better duration. So if you hit someone with a net, they'll be still for 6 seconds on my current one. 6 seconds. That's a long time compared to, I think, 2 seconds. But the problem is you've got to actually hit them with it, and they can still use moves. They can still, if they're in range, which is usually the case, they get in range by the time you get to use it. they can still use their moves, so they can still shoot you and chop you. So it's a bit ineffective unless you can really pull it off and pull out some good uses for it. The stun grenade was much better because it deploys much faster, so you're less likely to miss, but it's much shorter duration. So I've chucked them out. I brought in our rocket trooper instead. So we're going to combine our styles of play here. So we're playing counter style, but also semi-aggressive now because we've got our rocket trooper. So Luke, being Luke, is actually chilling out a little bit. He's dropping some troops like we are. We're dropping some troops. He's got a grenade. Looks like our guys are gone. That's a shame. But it looks like our sand trooper fired off a shot and killed the entire group. So sand troopers are great at taking out groups. So my advice is learn your counters. Find out what counters what. Like I said, swordsmen take out tanks. Sand troopers take out groups of people. Rocket troopers are good at turrets and tanks. These little purple grenades will deal... they'll slow your enemies down 50% and slow their attacking speed down 50%. So it's awesome at just stuffing them up, making them really weak. So we've got an we've got a rocket trooper on the left side. And we have Obi-Wan Kenobi coming in here. We can take him out. We can pick him off. I don't think he's considered a hero. He's considered unique, so we don't do more damage as Boba Fett. Boba Fett has the ability to do, I think, 10% more damage or 12% more damage to leaders, which is awesome because killing off a leader is very important. Getting up their spawn time gives us the ability to push as the Empire and just crush the rebel scum. So we have a probe droid and some swordsmen. So we could pull off the old drop a probe, chuck a swordsman out. But Luke is lying in wait. Luke is ready. He's holding out. He knows this is a game of countering. He's not being aggressive. He's not being foolish. So we'll try and get him to waste all his energy here, kind of like we have. Because if he wants to take out the ATST before it destroys his turret, he's going to have to spend all his energy more or less. And now we have 2 times regen. I honestly have no idea why that occurs, but I'll take it, man. I'll take it. All these troops are dead. The little droid's going in, but our sand trooper is very powerful. He'll take him out. Tank coming, so drop swordsmen around it. We'll drop some swordsmen up here. They'll do their best to pick it off. Electric mine was pretty good. Semi-useful. And we'll drop a probe in. We'll just distract them from attacking our tower, basically. So now we've got 2 towers down. Their tank is more or less destroyed. And these little troops are coming in. We've got another tank coming in. We'll drop an ATSD up high. That'll distract the tank as well. We're just buying time. We got 20 seconds left. The game is over. If I die, it's no big deal. I can't see Luke pulling a rush out now. Our energy trade has been pretty good. He's been dropping out some tanks. And he's dropping a bunch of little units on the right side. They're going to be killed by my tower. So really no threat there. And this was an easy win. That was a very easy win in the end. So just learn your counters as the Empire. Learn what counters what and use it effectively and use it wisely. If you can spend it and drop it, doesn't mean you should. And definitely find placement of your units. That is very important. Knowing where to put them at the right time is very important. So we can see Luke here. He's a tough dude. He's a tough dude. We got, I think, 31 energy off him, which is a lot. Like, that means he's a little bit higher than us in the grand scheme of things in this game. But I hope this advice helped you learn your counters, know your placement, play your cards when you should, and just work out a good deck. You can mimic my deck if you want as Imperials, but just be careful because if you don't have them leveled up, they'll be a little bit less effective. So if you come across someone who's a bit stronger than you, you might not have a great time. But this round, this was an easy one for us.